You know, I've been thinking a lot lately about certain topics. One I discussed on an EBCW episode. There are plenty of others I will discuss in the future. But one that has been on my mind lately that I want to get out and I want to bring to the public's attention is what was the golden age of YouTube. It's kind of hard to determine because YouTube's been around for the better part of like 15 years. I think it started in 2005. So it has a long history. But I feel like, to me, there are certain eras of YouTube that stick out more than others. I mean, let's be honest. I don't think many people really paid too much attention to YouTube prior to maybe 2009-ish, especially when the gaming scene was really, taking shape, and Modern Warfare 2 was really picking up on YouTube and whatnot, which, hence the reason why I have this gameplay behind you here from the cliffhanger mission from Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. But I really do believe that there's a portion in time, there's a couple of years spanned in YouTube that, to me, stands out as the most notable. Now, before I continue, there are some people that believe that 2016 was a big year because this was before the adpocalypse. YouTube drama was at an all-time high at the time with whatever the fuck Keemstar was doing. Leafy was really starting to make headway and get notoriety, for whether you agree with his tactics of doing it or not. Lots of viral internet videos were hitting the site, like the Pokemon Go kid. Pokemon Go in general was becoming huge at the time. I personally think 2016 was also one of the most fun periods of time for YouTube for me, just because, it was just, I had a lot of fun uploading at that point in time. I mean, 2016 for me, I was doing everything from Star Wars Battlefront, the 2015 version, which I loved, and I really enjoy that game. I still play it from time to time, as you guys know. And then there was Battlefield 4, I should say, going into Battlefield 5. Because Battlefield 4 because Call of Duty was on my shit list, so I didn't play Call of Duty for 2 or 3 years. And, I was playing Battlefield 4 a lot, because my friends wanted me to play Battlefield 4, and obviously some of those videos I've put out now are pretty much infamous, and some of my favorite videos of all time. Stuff like the tank trolling video, which ended up being more or less the birth of the chopper hunter. That my little thing there. I had that's when I really started to do live streaming. Not from YouTube, but to Twitch. But, that's when I really started to do live streaming. That's when I started putting, videos together for stream highlight videos and so on. But, so personally to me, a lot of people look back on 2016 as some of the best era of YouTube, period. Some people just say summer of 2016, not just 2016, because at the time, after 2016, that's when I think the first adpocalypse hit. I think it was either late 2016 or early 2017. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on it. So that's pretty much when YouTube changed forever and became pretty much even more corporate, I think, than they are now. Or not even more. I think they're even more corporate now, but they became super corporate around that time. But for me, honestly, I watched a video recently that made me think to myself, wow, this was the golden age of YouTube, not 2016. And the video in question is a video from everyone's favorite Call of Duty YouTuber from 2009 to 2011 or so, Sandy Ravage. Now, Sandy Ravage, some of you may know, some of you may not know, he's a very prevalent streamer as well now on Twitch. He does a lot of good streams and whatnot, and I honestly believe wholeheartedly he does. I honestly believe wholeheartedly he has some of the best Warzone streams on Twitch, period, bar none. I don't really enjoy watching Warzone that much, but watching Sandy Ravage and XCal and all his buddies play Warzone, that's fun for me for some reason. So that's a different story for a different time. But I honestly believe that I watched a video from Sandy Ravage, and it was what was it? Something from 2011. It was a video from 2011. It was a montage of Modern Warfare 2, which at that time was still one of, if not the biggest Call of Duties of all time, even though Modern Warfare 3 had pretty much released by the time this video I'm calling into question is, which, you know, you guys can watch down in the description below, or in the description below. I'll leave that video there if I can find it again. But if you just watch the video, it makes you really think. It's like, wow, this was a fucking era of, it's not even just YouTube, but like gaming on YouTube in general. Because the video is a montage, like I said, of Modern Warfare 2 clips. And the way it's either edited or it's presented on YouTube, it just gave me such a nostalgic feel that I don't think can ever really be replicated. I mean, like I said before, Call of Duty on YouTube has been synonymous for the better part of 12 years. Maybe more if you count. Maybe more. But I would like to say, you know, I'd like to give it some credit and maybe go World at War. That's when Call of Duty, you know, really starts to take shape. Modern Warfare 2 only heightens it further. Black Ops 1, epic. Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3, I should say, I'm sorry. Fantastic as well, in my opinion, for YouTube, on YouTube. And then Black Ops 2, arguably one of the best Call of Duties of all time. To some, me, pretty much mediocre, but YouTube channels were blowing up around that time. And then it all went downhill, came Ghost. So I honestly believe in that period of time, YouTube, at least in the gaming world, was huge, because Call of Duty was the game if you wanted to grow on YouTube. And like I said, you have World at War all the way to Ghost. And it's really tough to replicate an era of YouTube like that, just in gaming. I mean, of course there were other games being uploaded, but me, at the time, I was only really watching Call of Duty. I didn't watch Battlefield. I had no idea what Battlefield was, really, at the time. So, and then as time went on, I did a little bit more research. But, you know, Call of Duty was the game I watched. Some people will also say Halo was pretty big at that time, because Halo was, I would say Halo was in its prime around that period, but who knows? Again, Halo's not a game I usually pay attention to, so especially with Halo Infinite and how shitty that looks, but that's a different story for a different time. So yeah, I mean, this era of YouTube, to me, is just insane, because look, there were so many people that were starting to get notoriety at the time. Sandy Ravage was one of them. White Boy 7th Street was another big one, even though I kind of think White Boy's a clown now, for lack of better terms. He really comes off as this holier than thou type of guy, and his channel more or less is pretty much dead, which I'm not sure if anybody has seen if he's uploaded or anything, but his channel is pretty much dead now. But it was really huge in that 2008 to 2012 or 13 span. Who else was big at the time? There was another guy I watched a lot. That was his name was XSMFX or something like that, the GOAT, and he was really good at Modern Warfare 3 in 2011. I would make it a point every time I saw a video of his to watch a video from him, and it was really, his stuff was really fucking good. Even his Black Ops 1 stuff that I watched later on was really good. He's no longer on the platform, but he had like close to 20K at the time. He was blowing up pretty big. And he eventually had to quit, I guess, because life had to happen to him. But he's always one that I look back on fondly in terms of people I've watched on YouTube. Thunder was another one. Fisticuffs, El Presidor, two guys that I subscribed to for a while, but then their content just didn't interest me anymore because, you know, like, again, I think a lot of the times it comes to the changing of how things are on, not just in YouTube, but in life. You know, you get older, and all of a sudden some bald guy with a goatee raging like El Presidor doesn't really tickle the fancy as it once did. That's just me. But, and then I think around that time too was obviously when I came onto the platform, because YouTube, and I'll make a video about this later on, but YouTube really was the first social network I joined, because my friend Noah, aka Beetle, aka Cabbage Stalks, who I don't think is even on the platform anymore either, he would tell me stuff like, oh, I'm doing YouTube, blah blah blah. This is what I do, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I want to do that. So here I am in October 25th, 2011. I made the channel. I didn't upload until around the time of when YouTube for me started to decline, or this golden age started to decline. So I don't know, man. It was a really fun period. If I look back on it, it was a really fun period. And going back to the Ravage video that I watched, the montage, I think what made it so nostalgic for me was the fact that 1080p at this time, in terms of computer technology and resolution of computers, didn't really exist. So I'm watching this video and I'm like, wow, the quality doesn't really stand up to par like it usually would have, or like it usually would. And I looked at the settings to see if I can increase the quality, because here I am, first world problems. And the video is in 720. Now 720 to me is okay, but I can still watch in 720. It's just anything lower than that, it gets tough to watch. But I'm sitting here like, holy shit, this video wasn't even in 1080p. I don't even think 1080p was a thing back in those days, like I said. So not only is this video like giving us nostalgia based on the content of the game, but the way it was edited, the way it was shot, it just gave that nostalgic golden era of YouTube feeling. And again, watch the video. I'll try and link it down in the description below, or at least check it out on Ravage's channel if I'm unable to. But it was really something to behold. And for, I don't know how long the video was, but for like maybe 10-ish minutes, I was sitting there entertained, thinking about the good times on YouTube. And I don't think we ever got another good experience on YouTube until 2016, when, again, drama was really heavy. Leafy was making content, fucking doing whatever the god's name he was doing. Keemstar was fucking making drama consistently, to the point where it was entertaining just to see what bullshit he was doing, or what bullshit the scenario he got himself into. It's just, I don't know, man. It's really tough. I mean, what do you guys think? What do you guys think was the golden era of YouTube? Because I've said my piece on it. I think 2008, 2009 to 2012 was, at least for Call of Duty, the best. And then there's also the, just in gaming in general, was huge on YouTube at the time. I think since around that period it's declined. 2016 was also pretty big. But I don't know, man. It's really tough to really pinpoint what the golden era of YouTube was, at least for gaming. That's just me, and Call of Duty. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed this little cliffhanger mission gameplay here. This was actually a pretty fun mission. I just watching this gameplay as I talk, it's like, God, I get even nostalgia watching this game, even though I never played Modern Warfare 2 before a couple weeks ago, which I talked about. So imagine that, man. It's just nuts. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. Follow me on all social media stuff you see down in the description below, and I'll catch you all on the next one.